Hi mamas. As you know, I am organizing my first retreat, Becoming Free, in May this year, which is actually crazy because it's exactly the same time that I launched my business 10 years ago. So how special is that? And I want to run you through what exactly we're going to do in terms of the inner work. Obviously, the space itself is amazing. There is cold water therapy. There is a wood-fired sauna that's got the most incredible view. There are private hot tubs. There is a fire pit 8-meter wide. It's amazing. There is a forest, private, for forest bathing. There is the most gorgeous meditation meadow with a beautiful stream running through. And there is this gorgeous wild meadow walk. I mean, that's just the setting without even going into the domes, which are really cozy and lovely and have the most incredible views of the surrounding parkland. So that is the setting, and that is going to be the backdrop for what we are going to do together. So obviously there's going to be lots of spare time, me time, to be able to enjoy these amazing facilities, but we're also going to come together. That's the point of the retreat, right? It's going to be restorative, deeply reawakening, and gently healing. Why gentle? Because I'm going to be guiding you. This is going to be a journey of self-exploration towards the parts of you that perhaps you don't make space for in everyday life, right? Who has the time to sit with their emotions, to even make the time to recognize how you're feeling or what's going on in your body, what you need? And this is so essential for not only our sense of self, like who are we other than what we're being told to do or what we feel we should do. Who are we and what are our needs? What are our likes? So many of my clients don't know this because not only did they not get the opportunity to get to know themselves as children, they were always focused outwards on their parents' needs, usually, but they don't give themselves time now. They're in a hamster wheel of doing, achieving. Time goes by quickly. Having children puts your emphasis on them. School emails, WhatsApp groups. Oh my God, it's endless. So this is a chance for deep rest. An opportunity to pause, to reconnect with your body, with your senses. Obviously, the nature around us is going to be helping us to do that. And all of the things that I just mentioned are sensual experiences, but we are going to come together over and above that in circle. And there is something so precious about coming together as women. Women are not the same as men. We know that. If we talk about very quickly the difference between masculine energy and feminine energy, which both men and women have, the feminine energy, which should be stronger in us because we're women, but often it's not because we've grown up in a patriarchy. We have to fight to be heard and we need to fight for equal rights and all the rest of it. This feminine part of us gets forgotten. It gets passed over because it's not useful in a patriarchal society that values efficiency, productivity, constantly having the energy to do and to overachieve, right? This is our chance to reconnect to that other side, that part of us that is collaborative, not individual. That part of us that is co-creative, not singular. That part of us that is emotional, intuitive, that gets guided not only by our internal sat-nav, that is our menstrual cycle. It's probably our most incredible sat-nav that anyone could wish for, but also your emotions, your intuition, how you feel. It's that as opposed to logic and reasoning. So the patriarchy works in a hierarchical way. Those that are at the top have more power, they are less vulnerable, they are more omniscient, and it's generally frowned upon the higher up you are to recognize your limitations, your weaknesses. The feminine isn't like that. The feminine leadership model is a flat circle. We as women should be much more able to admit when we've got something wrong, to pivot, to ask for support, to say, do you know what, these are my strengths, this isn't my strength. Who's going to work with me on this? There is no ego, or the ego is much, much less. So this is what we're tapping into. Who are we as women? How do you feel? What do you want from life? How are you showing up in life as a mother, as a partner, as a woman, as a citizen? And what are the things that are holding you back from doing that? Are you in touch with your emotions? Do you honor your needs? Can you even hear them? Do you make space to find out who you are and what would help you to thrive? And obviously coming into this is limiting self-beliefs, is adaptive behaviors that we picked up in childhood that have led now to patterns such as people-pleasing, perfectionism, overachieving, workaholism, procrastination, black and white thinking, catastrophizing, taking things too personally, getting attached to the labels that we were given as children. So we will be gently exploring who we are, what is holding you back from being the amazing woman, partner, mother that you want to be, that you have every right to be. And how are these patterns that you may have picked up in childhood holding you back unconsciously? And how are you kind of consciously self-sabotaging? Maybe through fear, maybe through resistance, because sometimes it's scary to be successful, to be tapped into your joy, right? If you're not used to it, it can feel deeply unfamiliar. Receiving love, letting other people in, experiencing joy, feeling safe, being able to play and be spontaneous. A lot of resistance can come up here if this is not something that we're used to. So we want to get rid of all that crap. It's not relevant. You don't need it. It is old and it is stuck in your body. So we are going to be looking at all of this, understanding how to manage your feelings, how to process your feelings, how to get in touch with your feelings, and also how to get rid of all of the stuff that you don't need. Not temporarily, not just during this weekend. Obviously, we'll be doing lots of practical work, but permanently, because I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's going to be amazing. So I'm so excited. We're also going to have a lot of ritual, ceremony, all of the things that women do naturally. You know, we were persecuted for being witches very often because we knew what herbs were for, because we knew, I don't know if you've heard of biodynamic farming. A lot of the top wineries do this. I used to be a wine specialist, so I know a lot about this. It's not witchcraft following the phases of the moon. It literally governs your body and the waters in your body. That's why we feel a bit weird around full moon, but it also governs your cycle, right? So we're not going to be doing anything like that. I don't know anything about herbs, but we are going to be tapping into that part of us that naturally gravitates towards ritual and ceremony, not in a weird woo-woo way, in a, oh my God, I remember this. This is my body. This is me. Circle, women coming together, collaboration. I did my first ever circle when I was 39, and it changed my life because it brought me back to what it was that I'd been ignoring, the feminine side of me, and I'd been ignoring it because I didn't feel it fit. My masculine energy was kind of like my armor. It's what got me through. It made me feel safe in a man's world. That's okay. I'm not asking anyone to let go of their masculine armor. However, we do need to tap more into our feminine, into a movement, into our bodies, not being up here analyzing everything to death and not actually getting a solution to anything. Solutions come from here. Solutions come from space, from silence, from connection with each other, with ourselves, with nature. So that's a little bit of an introduction, an overview. I haven't planned it yet. I'm going to wait until I get inspired by what it is that we need to cover. But that's a broad brush of the direction in which we're going. Reconnecting to parts of you that you've neglected, not through your own fault, but because of the world we live in, because We're told not to, right? From a young age at school, we're told to ignore our bodies. No, you can't go for a pee now. You should have gone in break. Hold it in. It's just so wrong. So yeah, reconnecting to all of the things that you may have neglected and becoming whole, right? Becoming whole again. You deserve to feel the joy, the freedom, the connection that comes when we are whole. If this sounds like the kind of thing that you've been missing, check out my website page. So my website is laviniabrown.com. Look under the menu at May Retreat. All of the details are there, where it is, how to get there. Just want to mention that the location is 2-ish hours from Heathrow Airport, only 1.5 hours from Stansted. So this is absolutely within reach if you don't live in England. It's also only 20 minutes from the train station for those that do live in England. I already have one dome filled by a woman coming from New York. So, you know, this is absolutely not unfeasible, right? Unfeasible. So please do think about it wherever you live. I will work with you to make your travel arrangements as smooth and efficient as possible. But if this sounds good, go on that website link, book your ticket now. Early bird prices, which means you can save up to £1,200, seriously, if you buy a bring a friend ticket, or £400 if you book an individual ticket. These are only available until the end of January, okay? 31st of January. So please don't miss out on this. If this is something that you really want to do and it's a bit of a stretch financially, get your early bird ticket now. I'm really excited to welcome you, and I really hope that those of you that know that you need this are drawn and book your place. It's going to be amazing.